Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a 64-year-old woman named Margaret. After years of solitude, she decided to revamp her old home. The pipes had been rattling for too long, so she called a plumber named Jake, a friendly man in his 30s. When Jake arrived, he was taken aback by the vibrant colors of Margaret's garden. She was known for her green thumb, but few knew about her rich inner life. As Jake inspected the leaky pipes, Margaret shared stories of her past, her adventures as a young artist, and the love she lost long ago. Feeling a connection, Margaret summoned the courage to ask Jake for more than just plumbing help. "Would you teach me how to fix things around the house?" she inquired. This request surprised Jake, but he agreed. Over the next few weeks, their sessions turned into shared cups of tea, laughter, and stories. Margaret learned not just about plumbing, but also about embracing life. Jake found inspiration in her resilience and creativity. They both discovered the importance of human connection, bridging the gap between generations. As the final project came to an end, Margaret stood proudly beside her work. A repaired sink and a revitalized spirit. She realized she had not just fixed her home, but also opened her heart. And Jake, he left with a newfound appreciation for life's unexpected friendships. In the end, Margaret's request for help had transformed into a beautiful bond, proving that it's never too late to learn or to connect with others. As their friendship deepened, Margaret decided to host a small gathering to celebrate the completion of the repairs. She invited Jake, along with a few neighbors she had known for years but had never really connected with. She wanted to create a space for warmth and camaraderie. The evening arrived, and Margaret prepared her signature dishes, her famous lasagna and a fresh garden salad. Jake brought a bottle of wine, and they set up the backyard with twinkling lights and soft music. The atmosphere was inviting, filled with laughter and the aroma of good food. As the night unfolded, Margaret felt a sense of belonging she hadn't experienced in years. She shared her stories, and her neighbors opened up about their lives, creating a tapestry of shared experiences. Jake played the perfect host, blending in seamlessly, encouraging conversations and helping where needed. At one point, Margaret found herself alone with Jake by the garden, reminiscing about their journey together. "You've brought so much joy into my life," she admitted. "I never expected to form such a bond while fixing my plumbing." Jake smiled. "I've learned more from you than I ever expected. Your spirit is contagious." They both realized how the simple act of reaching out had blossomed into something meaningful. As the night wound down, Margaret felt a renewed sense of purpose. She decided to start an art class for her neighbors, combining her passion for art with community building. With Jake's encouragement, she announced the idea during the gathering, and everyone responded enthusiastically. The weeks that followed were filled with creativity. Margaret guided her neighbors in painting, nurturing their artistic sides. Jake often dropped by to lend a hand, setting up supplies and capturing moments on his camera. The art classes became a weekly highlight, fostering friendships and deepening connections. Through this journey, Margaret discovered that it wasn't just about fixing her home or learning new skills. It was about building a community. Her once quiet life was now vibrant, filled with laughter, art, and the warmth of new friendships. And as for Jake, he found joy in teaching and supporting Margaret, realizing that sometimes fixing things meant more than just pipes. It was about mending hearts and creating bonds that could last a lifetime. As the art classes flourished, Margaret's home transformed into a hub of creativity. The walls, once bare, now displayed vibrant paintings created by her neighbors. Each piece told a story, reflecting the unique perspectives of those who had participated. Margaret felt a profound sense of fulfillment watching her students embrace their artistic sides. One evening, while cleaning up after class, Margaret found herself deep in conversation with Laura, a shy woman in her 50s who had initially hesitated to join. Laura revealed that art had always been a passion, but life's responsibilities had pushed it aside. "I never knew how much I missed this," she said, her eyes glistening. Margaret smiled, feeling a sense of purpose swell within her. "Art has a way of healing," she replied. "It brings us together in ways we often overlook." They both shared a moment of understanding, acknowledging the transformative power of creativity. Jake continued to support the classes, often joining in and encouraging others to express themselves. His presence brought an additional layer of joy. One day he surprised everyone by showcasing his own artwork, a large mural that depicted the community's spirit. The mural resonated deeply with everyone, capturing their shared experiences. As summer approached, Margaret decided to host an outdoor exhibition to celebrate the artwork created during the classes. She envisioned a community gathering filled with music, food, and a chance for everyone to showcase their talents. With Jake's help, she organized everything meticulously. On the day of the exhibition, the garden was adorned with fairy lights and colorful displays of art. Neighbors gathered, their excitement palpable. Margaret felt a mix of nerves and exhilaration as she welcomed everyone. They wandered through the garden, admiring the artwork and sharing stories behind each piece. As the sun set, Margaret took a moment to reflect. She looked around at the laughter and connections being formed, realizing that she had created something truly special. It wasn't just an exhibition, it was a celebration of life, creativity, and community. Jake stepped up to give a speech, highlighting how far they had all come together. "This is what happens when we open our hearts and share our passions," he said, gesturing to the artwork around them. "We build a tapestry of support and joy." That night, Margaret felt a deep sense of belonging, no longer just the solitary woman she had once been. She had fostered connections that filled her life with meaning, and in the quiet moments, she realized that her friendship with Jake had blossomed into something beautiful, one that transcended their initial purpose. As the stars twinkled overhead, Margaret knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with creativity, friendship, and endless possibilities. As the exhibition drew to a close, Margaret was overwhelmed by the sense of community she had fostered. The success of the event encouraged her to expand her vision. She decided to start a monthly art night, inviting not only her neighbors, but also the wider community to join in. Each session would focus on a different medium, allowing everyone to explore their creativity in various ways. Jake remained a steadfast supporter, helping her organize the events and encouraging her to invite local artists to share their expertise. One evening, a local sculptor named David joined them. He brought clay and tools, and the group was eager to try their hands at sculpture. Margaret watched in awe as her neighbors transformed raw materials into unique creations, their laughter filling the air. During one of these sessions, as they sculpted and chatted, Margaret confided in Jake, "I never imagined my life could change so much at this age. It's like I've rediscovered a part of myself I thought was lost." Jake nodded, understanding the depth of her words. "You've created something incredible here. It's not just about art, it's about the connections we make and the lives we touch." His encouragement fueled Margaret's passion even further. As the months passed, their community continued to grow. People from all walks of life began to attend the art nights, bringing their stories and experiences. Margaret realized that art had become a universal language, bridging gaps and building understanding among diverse individuals. However, amid the excitement, Margaret sensed a shift in her relationship with Jake. Their bond had deepened, and she found herself feeling something more than friendship. One evening, as they cleaned up after an art night, she decided to share her feelings. "Jake," she began, her heart racing, "I've been meaning to talk to you. I cherish our friendship, but I've started to feel more." Jake paused, looking surprised yet contemplative. "I've felt it too, Margaret. You've brought so much joy into my life, I just didn't know how to say it." They stood in the dim light, surrounded by the remnants of creativity, both aware that they were at a crossroads. With a shared understanding, they agreed to take things slowly, exploring this new dimension of their relationship while maintaining the strong foundation of friendship they had built. As they navigated this transition, their art nights continued to thrive. Margaret embraced her feelings for Jake, grateful for the connection they shared. They began to support each other in their artistic endeavors, collaborating on projects and encouraging each other to explore new forms of expression. One day, Margaret suggested they create a mural together, something that would represent the community they had nurtured. They gathered their neighbors, brainstorming ideas and painting together in joyful chaos. The mural became a symbol of unity, reflecting their journey and the relationships they had formed. As they painted, Margaret and Jake often found themselves stealing glances at one another, the unspoken bond growing stronger. The mural was completed on a sunny afternoon, and the community gathered to unveil it. Cheers erupted as they revealed a vibrant depiction of their shared experiences, a celebration of creativity, resilience, and newfound friendships. In that moment, Margaret knew she had not only transformed her home, but had also built a new life filled with love and connection. With Jake by her side, she felt ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing that together they could face the future with courage and creativity.